Good evening, actually good afternoon. Freddie Vasquez with Basement Politics Unfiltered special midday podcast. And I got a special guest with me. Good afternoon, it's Basement Politics Unfiltered. I am Freddie Vasquez. Today, we discuss last week's Bernice Spreckman ribbon cutting ceremony. Also, my attempts to visit Hezi Media Inc. over at 10 Palisades Avenue. And I got a special guest joining me today. Good afternoon, folks. How you doing? I've missed you guys. You missed me? I'm sure some of you were happy I was not around. Good afternoon, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Today I'm being joined by a special little lady. Say hello.
Hi.
And what is your name?
My name is Madison Vasquez.
Awesome. This is my 10-year-old daughter, Madison. We had to do some things today, so she stood with me at home, or actually at the office. But we're going to be doing a podcast. I asked her to join me. She said, yeah, why not? You know, she loves it, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, today I want to talk about the Bernice Spreckman Center ribbon cutting ceremony that happened last week. It was quite the event. There were a lot of elected officials there, and many of them just showed up for the opportunity to take a photo, I would imagine, right? Because not many of them had any real involvement in getting it open. We had the obviously the councilman from District 4, John Rubo, there. We also saw Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins. Also, Chuck Lesnick was there. We saw, who else? All the city councilmen, Tasha D. Oh, actually, Shanae was there, but Majority Leader Tasha Diaz was there. And Steve Sansone, the Parks Department Commissioner. And there, the seniors were there, excited about finally seeing the completion of their center. They've been fighting hard. There you go. They're all inside, along with advocate Carolyn Elizabeth Marie. That's how it looked before everyone entered in there. That's actually the 75-inch TV there, and I know it was replaced. Originally, when we went in, they said it was a 75-inch. It did not look like one. It also looked older, but I think they, say, hey, Freddie Vasquez and the seniors, especially the seniors, they don't skip a beat. They don't miss anything. They're very alert, and so they decided, I guess, to put that new one in there. Well, anyway, that was the some of the pictures there. And I was great. I'm glad I was there. I'm glad to see a lot of seniors come out. What I thought about it, as far as the elected officials, come on, guys. I mean, come on, really? City Council President was there as well. She spoke a bit, but I just didn't understand why did they all show up, right? This was a moment for the seniors. It's not a moment for the elected officials. And many of them, if any, did not have anything to do with completing it, besides the administrative stuff. But I wonder if it would still be that way if it were not for the seniors and Karen Elizabeth Marie. I also didn't like the fact that after they spoke, they held all the seniors until the elected officials walked into the center first. Can you believe that?
Just not right.
Absolutely not. It's their center, not the elected officials. Why were they made to wait? And I watched all the elected officials walk in, guys holding the seniors back, and then he let them in. I just thought that was rude. I think they should have went in first, especially because many of them, they had nothing to do with it. Had nothing to do with it at all. But anyway, we walked in. I also saw County Legislator James Nolan was there as well. David Tubiolo. I don't want to leave them out. I said hello to those guys. And it was good. It was nice. I mean, there were some things that were added that were not done originally when we did the first walkthrough. That were completed. So, I mean, it looked nice. It looked a lot better than the first time. So I'm just happy for it. I'm just very happy for it, Madison, that's what Daddy is out here doing with Basement Politics. We're trying to bring awareness in the community here, get things done, and they're moving. So I appreciate that. I want to shout out, all the seniors that fought hard. Carolyn, thank you for fighting hard also. I appreciate the invite. And to, some of the individuals that were there that helped, but many of them were there for a photo op. photo op. And I just don't think that's okay. I think that's wrong. So anyway, that was that there last week. I do want to talk about my visit to the office of Nader Sayegh. Actually, I was going to see Hezi Media Inc. All right. So last week it was brought to my attention by a viewer of the show that Hezi Media Inc., the company that owns or the parent company to the Yonkers Tribune, which is the editor is Hezi Aris, and recently he's been targeting Dr. Quesada. Yeah. So I said, let me go check this guy's office out because someone brought it to my attention that it's located at 10. Well, the registered address for Hezi Media Inc. is 10 Palisades Avenue. That is the same address to the office of Nader Sayegh. That is the address to his office for his law firm, as well as his office as an assemblyman. He also owns the building. So the address listed for Hezi Media was 10 Palisades Avenue, the second floor. So I decided to take pay a visit, see if I can speak to Hezi or anyone at the Yonkers Tribune and find out what's going on in regards to Dr. Quesada. And then I walk out. And as I walk out, I turned back around and I noticed that a man came to the window and then walked away. I'm not sure who the man was. I didn't get a good look at him. But she was, answering questions. Initially, she says, I think he's just listing his address here, but he's not here. And then the phone rang. And that was somebody who obviously saw me in the security cameras and probably said, don't answer any questions. Get that guy out of here. Because as soon as she put the phone down, that's it. She was like, he doesn't have address. He's not here. I can't answer that. She couldn't answer any questions. So I got it at that point. I wasn't going to, keep going into it because, she's not really involved in any way. She simply just works there. But the issue with that is Hezi Media Inc. and the Yonkers Tribune has been attacking Dr. Quesada. It is long rumored that Nader Sayegh, who's running for re-election for Assembly of the 90th District, is interested in becoming the superintendent of the Yonkers Public Schools. Now, I found out to be very interesting that the Yonkers Tribune shared an address with Nader Sayegh. The registered address was listed to a building that Nader Sayegh owns. Now, that makes you wonder, how much involvement does Nader Sayegh have in the publication, in the articles that are put out on this Yonkers Tribune? Not that long ago, maybe a couple of years back, or 3 years back, Hezi was actually sued for many of the articles that he was writing in regards to PBA president Keith Olsen. He was declared by a judge to not be a legitimate news source. And not that everything he puts on his page is false. A lot of the national stuff and, international stuff or whatever that's not really specific to Yonkers. He can talk about that with fairness. But when it comes to issues here in Yonkers, specifically political issues and politicians or elected officials, he's very biased. Very biased. He's all the way Team Hezi Jeris, the man behind elected officials such as Nader Sayegh, Tasha Diaz, the majority leader, and others. So is this an attack on Dr. Quesada in order to ruin his reputation and try to get him out of office so that Mr. Nader Sayegh, if he were to lose to Mike Breen, which I hear he's concerned about, he has a backup plan. Parents, you don't want to see Nader Sayegh as the superintendent of Yonkers Public Schools. There you hear it from a student there of the Yonkers Public Schools, correct? How do you feel about Dr. Quesada, the superintendent?
Well, I feel like he engages with the kids every time he comes into one of the schools.
Yeah, very friendly.
Yeah.
Did I tell you to say that? No. So I've heard a lot of positive things about Dr. Quesada. However, the Yonkers Tribune is taking it upon itself to write articles suggesting that Dr. Quesada does not care about students, specifically because he would not adhere to a request by the mayor to provide an analysis of security or safety protocols that they have there or whatever that they have in place. But I don't think that's true. And I've been to the school many times. I've also was there last week. And I feel comfortable and confident that our children are safe while in the Yonkers Public Schools. And some people have mentioned or tried to insinuate that I'm defending Dr. Quesada simply because my wife works for the Yonkers Public Schools, but that's not true at all. That's not true at all. The reason why I mention this is because it affects many, other people. It's not just Dr. Quesada. It's other individuals like former City Council President Mike Cater, even Mike Breen, who have been attacked by the Yonkers Tribune. Their families involved in these articles. And there's a reason why. Nader Sayegh obviously had an issue with Mike Cater. Hezi Jeris, the common denominator. Mike Breen is now running against Nader Sayegh. Hezi Jeris and the Yonkers Tribune, again, the common denominator. And now Dr. Quesada. Nader Sayegh would like to become the superintendent. And you have the Tribune and Hezi Jeris again. It is a fact, it's known that Nader Sayegh, the majority leader, do a lot of things together. She stores tables and stuff for her food drives there. I've seen her going to collect them. The Yonkers Tribune promotes strictly Nader Sayegh, the majority leader, Ada Medina, anyone to do with Hezi Jeris and Precision Strategies. I wonder who actually funded the beginning of the Hezi Media Inc. Was it Hezi? Did he pay to incorporate and register Hezi Media Inc.? How did he even get into being allowed to use 10 Palisades Avenue as the registered address, especially if he does not hold any offices there? What would be the point of that? So I believe that Nader Sayegh and Hezi Jeris control the Yonkers Tribune. What they put out on that Facebook page or whatever else he has, their website, is all manipulated by certain individuals, specifically Hezi Jeris. It's all a part of his political arsenal, a political weapon. That along with the Yonkers Newswire, who in a recent article about me said that I downloaded child pornography. Could you believe that, Maddie? Your dad. So we have to pay attention to that stuff because it's very important. And I say that because, again, I'm going to talk about voting. And we have to make sure that we're voting for the right individuals, that we are not being manipulated, swayed in any direction by articles like the Yonkers Tribune or the Newswire or even the Yonkers Voice. Majority Leader has been on the Yonkers Voice doing interviews, and they weren't so good. They were not good at all. Only served to only to just further prove what I've been saying about her and other people say. Excuse me, I don't know how to get this off. Oh, I got stuck. Well, anyway, I want to go to some of the. Hey, Ron Matin. How you doing, Ron? Did they take it from Tasha's office? Take what from Tasha's office? I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Did they? Oh, their TV. You know what? It could be. I mean, she, kind of did something that she shouldn't have done. She used taxpayer money to pay for a 75-inch TV to put in her office, as well as brand new hardwood floors, a brand new refrigerator. And by the way, if I didn't mention this already, the $2,000 that she spent on the chocolate bars with her name on it came from city taxpayer money. Did anyone in the city get any of that chocolate? Anyone? Well, we paid for it and we didn't get not a piece or not one bar, nothing. To use city taxpayer money to pay for chocolate bars, $2,000. Yet she is demanding accountability of other city council members and their staff. Her aide, the highest paid aide in City Hall, $93,000 a year. And on Friday, I believe it was Thursday, he was sitting in an event at the Ukrainian Center enjoying a nice luncheon. Not a bad gig, right? For $93,000. One day he's at the luncheon enjoying a great lunch. And then the other day he's skipping down Main Street. Does he ever work? $93,000, Maddie? That's a lot of money for an aide who I see often just chilling. It's not about the seniors, it's about the politicians. Don't you get that? Yeah, I know. You're so right. I'm trying to, get that in through my head, but it's just like, it's not supposed to be that way. So it confuses me, Where have you been, Freddie? We're concerned you got Tasha. No, I just decided to take a break, hanging out with the family and stuff like that, putting up lights and all that stuff in the backyard, get a little pool over there for the kids and stuff like that, just taking a break. I had put up I did that podcast recently about, Tasha and that meeting where she kind of went in as Sammy, I call him Sammy, Sam Borelli. And that one is, doing a lot of numbers in terms of views is way over 200 and some. That's just on one. I have it on different pages and YouTube and stuff like that. So that thing is like at 300 views. So I said, let me let that marinate. It seems like people like that podcast. So yeah, that's where I was just letting that marinate. But I just I also wanted to show you this actually that someone has sent it to me. This was from a Yonkers Insider. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to see this. This was old, but it makes a lot of sense. I didn't get number 1. I want to start here. Number 8. Who is related to New York State Assembly, Nader Sayegh, and Yonkers City Council President Mike Cater? Zehi Jerris. Yeah, they're related. They're cousins. Who took Tasha Diaz under their wing, ran her campaign, and helped her win the 3rd District Council seat? Zehi Jerris. Who did Tasha Diaz and Shanae Williams thank for their help at their inauguration? A convicted felon who was convicted of political corruption as well as tax fraud and other things, Zehi Jerris. Who will stop at nothing to regain their political power? Zehi Jerris. Who has played dirty politics for decades in the city of Yonkers and continues to do so? Zehi Jerris. Who is involved in the campaigns of Karen Best and Dan Romano? Zehi Jerris. Who attempted to take over the Yonkers Democratic Committee? Zehi Jerris. And, this is one of the things that I've talked about as far as Zehi Jerris being allowed to operate within the Yonkers Democratic Committee, which is why I created and founded a new organization, the Yonkers Democrats United. Now, this is for individuals who are just tired and jaded with the corrupt politics as usual here in the city of Yonkers. Democrats who are not coming out to vote anymore because they don't seem to, think it's going to make a difference. And I understand why. So I created this organization, Yonkers Democrats United, so we can regroup. I want the Democrats in Yonkers to regroup. Those who are tired of the corruption, tired of elected officials who are not doing anything. And we are going to become a force. We're going to be making an impact on these elections. So one of the first events I'm going to be doing is a voter registration drive. So look out for that. I'll be putting more information up on the page. I do have the voter registration application on the website, www.YonkersDemocratsUnited.com. You can also check out the Facebook page. And we are also taking membership applications as well as looking for board members. And I want people that are passionate, not people that are, some kind of, super success story or whatever, or, involved. I want people from the community, the real everyday people from the community to be a part of this. This is our community. This is your community. So I want people to get involved. So I'm looking for board members. I'm looking for individuals from the community to get on the board and just regular members. So you can email us. Right. Actually, the website, I don't even have the email address. It's on the page. You can actually reach out to us on the page. You can leave your information there. We'll send you out all the literature on the Yonkers Democrats United, because we want to now take have a real involvement. We have to change this. We have to change this. We have a majority leader that's obviously being paid to vote certain ways or being, getting benefits or perks to vote certain ways. We have a guy in the 4th district that was extremely mean to elderly women, seniors, and called an advocate here in the city of Yonkers a scammer. One of the women, actually the one that I got the soundbite from, this woman, I saw her again.
In another one, Mr. Rubo lied to me, and I don't vote for a...
I saw her. She said, you took my thing. I said, yeah. She's like, I don't want to, hopefully nobody. I said, listen, if they mess with you, you let me know. We're going to go after them. But she said that, she didn't appreciate that John Rubo called Carolyn Elizabeth Marie a scammer. He didn't appreciate that. Could you believe that? A man calling an advocate a scammer? So she was upset about that. That's not okay. This is the chair of the real estate committee. So a whole lot going on in there with real estate and all the selling of all Yonkers properties and stuff like that. So we have to be involved. We have to know what's going on. We have to assure that we put in qualified individuals, people that are passionate, that truly want to benefit the city of Yonkers as a whole, looks out for the people that vote for them, and is not there to enrich themselves and fatten their pockets, because that's what it seems like what's going on.
So we can make a change in the community.
Absolutely. And is that what Daddy's working to do?
Yes.
I'm trying, right?
Yeah.
And I got my kids involved. I show them what I do. I want them to also be people who, want to better their community and want to get involved and want to, volunteer. And it's not about $1. It's not always about making money. It's about doing, good and doing, something positive and leading by example. So that's what I want to do for my kids, and I want others to join me. So check out the Yonkers Democrats United. Again, you can check it out at www.YonkersDemocratsUnited.com. This Yonkers Democratic Committee here in Yonkers, they all messed up. They all corrupt. They got a lot of stuff going on in there. And we got to change this, Yonkers, and we got to make it fair. And shout out to DPW. Shout out to DPW. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, man. A lot of the guys are recognizing me, but they like the show. So I appreciate that. Thought they were going to have an issue, but they like it, I don't want no problems with you guys. You guys, some big guys, So shout out to you guys. But so we're working to make some change here. All right, Yonkers. We can't allow elected officials to do what they did, like at the Bernice Spreckman Center. They're not there when we need their help. But the minute it's ribbon cutting ceremony time, they all show up. They all come out of the woodwork, right? People that you never see all of a sudden pop up out of nowhere. Where were you at before? Where were you at when we were rallying? Nowhere. Right? So we got to change that. We got to get these fake individuals up out of here, and let's start to put individuals in there that truly care. So I expect everyone to be a part of it in these coming elections next year, because this is a big year coming up. 2023 is very important. I expect everyone to be involved. So look out for the voter registration drives. And again, I'm looking for members. Check out the page. The membership application's on there. Check out the Facebook page, Instagram. All right, so we're making moves. I just got a big, huge sign too, right? Super big.
Yeah, like super, super big.
So we're doing it. We're going to be, we're making things happen. I'm not just sitting here on this podcast talking about it. We're making it happen. So I'm looking forward to individuals joining me. Hopefully tonight I'll have on another community advocate, another individual that wants to talk about what's going on here in the city of Yonkers, is also fed up. So I look forward to having her on the show, because people seem to like the guests. So I want to have more guests on. If you want to come on, you want to talk about an issue that's very important, come on, join me. politicwithfred@gmail.com. You can reach out to me. And I'm working on a super big issue, episode on CPS, family court, and that whole, DSS, and all that stuff. There's a lot of issues going on with CPS, foster care system, and family court. And I got people here from Yonkers that are fed up with some of these family court judges. Yeah, these judges. Fed up with them. And we're going to be talking about that. So I'm putting that episode together. That's going to be a good episode. I got some crazy things going on there. So look out for that. But tonight, hopefully I'll have the advocate come on. We'll talk some more about what's wrong with Yonkers so we can make it right. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics. Thank you for joining me on this quick mid-afternoon episode. I just wanted to come back on and let you know I'm still alive. I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Thank you for joining me. My partner here, Madison. Say bye.
Bye.
Take care, folks. Have a good rest of the day. Hopefully we'll see you tonight. Let's get out of here, man. I got to go back to my office.
In another one, Mr. Rumo lied to me. And I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
Freddie wins.
That was your mid-afternoon special. Freddie Vasquez here, Basement Politics. Join me tonight. I hope to have on a special guest, community advocate. Let's discuss the issues here in the city of Yonkers and how do we move forward. I want to thank my special guest for joining me, the lovely and beautiful and most talented Madison Vasquez. Thank you.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
I was raised in housing. I don't think you were.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Join me tonight, folks. Check out the episode. If you missed this episode, I was talking about the Bernice Spreckman Center ribbon cutting ceremony and how the officials hopped up the spotlight. They made it about them. They made the seniors wait until they all entered the building first. Unacceptable. Check it out. Also, check out my visit to Nader Sayegh's office, 10 Palisades Avenue, the home of Hezi Media Inc. Yonkers Tribute.
Freddie wins.